We will now be taking a look at the female ward. As I've already mentioned, the female ward is located on the right-hand side of the administration block if you're looking at Mount Massive Asylum from the very front. And so this location is only ever visited in one chapter. It's seen in the female ward chapter in Outlast. And so, as you can probably guess by the name, the female ward is where the female patients are treated. And so we're going to start with the exterior first, and then move on to the interior. And so for the exterior, there's really not a whole lot to really say about it. It's pretty self-explanatory for the most part. You got 3 kind of main levels, and then you got a upper kind of attic level, and then also a basement. So it's really 5 levels in total. So just like the administration block, the exterior is clad in sandstone, and so that's pretty much it. Really much noteworthy for the actual exterior. You just got one main entrance to the female ward, with a little plaque reading female ward, and you can also see that's a bit kind of raised up, so you got a bunch of steps leading up to the main entrance. And the main entrance is located in the courtyard, so it doesn't really have, you can't really, it's not a true exit of the actual entrance as it is in an actual courtyard. And this is kind of the little separate courtyard that's kind of separated from the rest of the actual courtyard, because you do have this hallway here that connects the administration block to the prison block, and so the little courtyard here is it's its own separate little courtyard basically. And so it's complete with a fountain, benches, lampposts, trees, rocks. So, and then at the corner, you have your prison block, and then on the other side of that hallway right there is the recreation area, and then this hallway right here is the one that connects the female ward to the actual administration block. And yeah, so that's kind of the front hand side. Again, it's very symmetrical, as you can see, and it's also kind of the same with the right hand side here. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory, although I will take note that you can see that the windows have iron bars on them, and you're going to see this on the male ward as well, and also the prison block and the hospital, and that's because those areas are for the actual patients. So whereas the administration block is more for staff, so there are no iron bars on the windows in that building, since that's for staff. But this right here, this is where you have your patients, so it just makes the building a little bit more secure. You also have this area here that kind of sticks out. It's unknown what this is supposed to be, since there's no actual interior here, so your guess is as good as mine as to what this would be. It's right off of the actual hallways here that connect the female ward to the administration block. So really not a whole lot to really say about it. It's just it's very similar in looks. It's basically identical to this portion of the administration block, which you're going to see a lot throughout. Just a lot of these repeated wall segments that are just basically copy and pasted. And so yeah, and then of course this right here is just a hallway that again connects the administration block to the female ward. It's only 2 levels tall, as you can see, so there's only the first floor and the second floor are actually truly connected. There is no connection on the 3rd floor to the female ward and administration block, and I guess that has to do probably with the fact that the 3rd floor is just basically just completely meant for staff. Patients aren't really supposed to be up here, so this is just just an area where the staff would rest. You got bedrooms, you got restrooms, you got the chapel, and rec rooms and stuff like that, shower rooms, and then this is all just meant for staff. But then because really the whole administration block is for staff, but there's these hallways here, and they provide access to the 2 wards. So if if you're getting checked in at the main desk, you either go right or left to the wards, or you can also go to the prison block. So you get checked in and you go down these hallways and you can reach the wards where you'll be staying. So it kind of works like that pretty much, but the administration block is still mostly pretty much just for staff to reside in, pretty much. And yeah, so again, just 3 levels here plus that little attic space, just like would kind of look similar to the one in the administration block again. And going to the rear of the female ward, which is on the right-hand side of the complex, although this is the rear of the female ward itself. So yeah, you can see that, again, you're going to see that the floors are different heights. So the first floor is the tallest, and the second floor is, the second is a little bit shorter, and then the third floor shorter even still. So kind of works like that. So it's just like we saw in the administration block. And so then once you get to the left-hand side, you're going to notice something very interesting. Is you have this whole building here that kind of butts up against the female ward, and it's very interesting. The reason it's interesting is because, well, there's windows here in the female ward, and then there's this whole building up against it. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's just another one of those examples of Mount Massive Asylum being a bit weird, a little bit inconsistent at times. So, and I'm not really going to talk about this building too much, since I do consider it part of the recreation area. So I will cover it in the recreation area section of the video, but for right now I'm just going to stick to the female ward. But it's just, something to take note of. And yeah, so that's basically it for the female ward itself. And then you got your roof here, and most of the roof is flat, as you can see. So it's really just at the sides here, the actual exterior, where you have a little bit of a pitch, and the pitch itself is pretty steep as well. So it's the same pitch as the roofs on the administration block. Well, most of the roofs on the administration block, since the 2 towers roofs are a little bit steeper. And yeah, so that's basically it for the exterior. So now we can head inside here. And one thing you are going to notice is that the female ward, the actual interior is in a really just horrendous state compared to the administration block especially. And the reason for that is because, simply put, Murkoff never restored this part of the asylum. They never renovated it like they did to certain parts of the administration block, male ward, prison block, hospital. So they never restored the female ward, and they also never restored the 2 vocational blocks when they repurchased the asylum in 2009. So the reason they didn't restore it is because it was discovered pretty quickly that the morphogenic engine would cause psychosomatic pregnancies in some of the female staff and patients, and so ultimately, in the end, all of the female patients and staff were moved to other facilities. And so there really wasn't a point in renovating the female ward, since it would have just been a waste of money, pretty much. So there's really no point in doing it, pretty much. And yeah, and also another note to take, just another thing to take into consideration is the layout and just the general arrangement of the female ward is very similar. It's almost identical to the one in the male ward. So you're going to see that the interiors of the male and female ward are basically almost identical, especially in terms of layout and also some of the decor. It just looks a little bit different at times, the decor, because the female ward, like I said, it was never restored, but the male ward was. So basically everything you see in the female ward is original. So original to the the asylum's architecture back in the 1960s. Up until 1971 when the building was closed. And so yeah, anyways, yeah, this right here is the main entrance, kind of main lobby area of the female ward. It's not as nice or elaborate as the one in the administration block. So it's just basically just an entrance that, just basically the main entry point for the entire ward here. There is kind of another side entrance, that's connected to to the administration block. That's another way to enter the female ward, but this is basically just the main entrance here, and it also provides access to the courtyard. And so yeah, at the end here, the rear end of the lobby is the main staircase and elevator. So it does serve 4 levels, the 3 main levels, and also the basement as well. Only the staircase, actually, you can access the basement from the staircase. The elevator shaft does go down to the basement, but there's no way to actually get off of it. So it's similar to the one in the administration block. And you might also notice that, speaking of the administration block, this staircase and elevator is basically just the same design as the main staircase in the administration block. Basically same elevator shaft, staircase with the 2 landings, kind of the U-shaped staircase. So this is all identical. The only difference is that there's this little closed off area where on the administration block it's completely open. And also the material back here is all brick on all 3 sides on the administration block. Only the main wall had brick. So, but other than that, it's basically just the same staircase. So there's this staircase, and there's also 4 other smaller staircases. So, whereas the administration block had just 1 staircase and elevator, the female ward has 5 in total. So there's plenty of ways to get around all the different levels. And so yeah, here's the actual elevator itself. So kind of basically similar to the one in the administration block. And so yeah, it's basically an old-fashioned style elevator here. And it's also just got an emergency hatch as well. So here's the actual elevator shaft. Not really a whole lot to really say about it. And then you got your staircase. Again, it's very similar to the one in the administration block. It's made out of wood, and it's got like these curved banisters at the ends. So yeah, main entrance, again, it's got, you're going to see this a lot throughout. You're going to see this tile, and for the wall coverings, you got a pink dado with white in the middle, and then kind of this kind of like sand-colored concrete at the top and also the ceiling. So this right here is similar to the top of the walls on the 3rd level of the administration block. We kind of saw this a bit earlier. So yeah, 4 columns here, 4 kind of just freestanding columns, and then the other columns are just kind of embedded into the walls. And also, one of the main differences between the entrances of the male and female ward is that in the male ward there's offices here. So there's like 3 walls here with windows, and then there's like a door here. This wasn't added in the female ward, and that I think has to do with the fact that, again, Murkoff never decided to restore the female ward. And there's kind of like a little rug here, and that's pretty much it for the entrance. There's really not a whole lot to really say about it. Again, it's pretty bare, except for just a single light fixture here, and that's it. So yeah, then at this point you can either go left or right, or of course you can also go up or down. So if you go right, you have this door here with this bunch of windows here, and it looks down into this wide hallway here, very wide hallway. There's really no point to this hallway. It's basically just here to access this whole area, and this leads to the administration block. So just a single little door here. Again, we saw this in the administration block portion of the video. So you got this hallway that actually goes to the administration block. So this is in the administration block decor. And then this hallway that runs perpendicular is in the female ward decor. So again, it's got that typical female ward wall coverings, and it's also got carpet in here. This is like the only area of the female ward that has carpet, which is very interesting. So yeah, and then there's this corner room here that's just off of the hallway. This is all open. And this room, I really just don't know what the point of this room is. On the male ward side of, on this side of, on the male ward, this would be the kitchen for the cafeteria. But here there's no kitchen. There is no kitchen in the female ward. There's only a pantry. That's pretty much it. So, or there's kind of kitchen, but it's very, very small. And yeah, then you got one of the 4 staircases I brought up. So you got 4 of these staircases, 2 on each side from kind of from the middle. So you consider it's kind of the middle port, and then kind of the middle point, and then there's 2 staircases on each side. So, and this is what the staircases look like. They have a landing, and then you go up to the next floor. So yeah, again, more tile in here, and you got the, floor, female ward wall coverings. And you got windows looking out onto the courtyard. You got radiators, ventilation ducts here, sprinkler valves. So yeah, pretty basic stuff you would expect to find. And then you got this room. Yeah, and this room, it looks like it's 3 levels tall, but it's actually only 1. That's because you can see that some of the floors have collapsed. So definitely some of the worst damage that you'll come across. Not only like missing doors and windows, but also entire floors have just given way. So yeah, very sad to look at the female ward as it exists in the present. And yeah, so you got a door there, again, kind of these metal doors that you've been seeing a lot throughout the building so far. And then you just have a archway here, and this is another hallway that runs parallel to the main one. So just another hallway here. They couldn't have just extended it. It's just a separate little hallway, which is very interesting. And yeah, so right here, this is actually going to be the cafeteria. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. I also apologize for it being so dark. As you can see, it's just not a whole lot of lights on in the female ward. So just bear with me. But then you have another hallway here. That's, again, this is just off of the main hallway here. And yeah, it's basically just a series of hallways down here that provide access to all the different rooms here. So yeah, another doorway here. And then another hallway that goes down here. This is towards the laundry room. And again, this is back towards the cafeteria. You have another little hallway going down here. You have a kind of a locker room here. Yeah, again, this is all pretty much connected to each other. So another hallway going down here. And then down here, there's another staircase. So another staircase here. And then there's an office. And then this goes to the pantry. And there's also another set of doors leading to the cafeteria. So yeah, 3 sets of doors in total leading to the cafeteria. It's a large room. And then there's 2 doors here, and this leads to an unknown room. It's unknown as to what this is supposed to be. On the male ward, this is where the laundry room was located. But on the female ward, the laundry room is actually located over here. It's located more towards the center of the building. And then right here, another unknown room. This is probably like a sprinkler room, because on the male ward, this is where the room for the sprinkler system was located. So I'm guessing that's also what that's supposed to be. And then this wasn't even a room in the male ward. This was just like nothing. So they added the locker room here. And the locker room in the male ward was in the center where the laundry room was. So that's just one of the main differences between the male ward and the female ward. And also there would be windows here for the laundry room in the male ward. Here, this isn't the case for the female ward because, again, this is just some other room. Another hallway here, and this hallway eventually does connect back to the lobby here, the main entrance. So got another staircase, and there's also another staircase at the end here. And so then you got this room here. This room is very interesting because it's not exactly known what this is supposed to be. It does have a chalkboard, and it's got like these desks here, so maybe like a classroom or something. Or maybe just like an office here. So, and also this room, what's very interesting is the 3 sides here are just windows. It's just all glass, and there's just one actual wall here. And yeah, and then back here, this is probably another office. So, because on On the male ward, this was an office, so I'm just gonna guess that this is also an office here in this corner of the female ward. Because on the other side, there's also an office as well. And then right over here, you have two other doors, and this right here is like 99% sure this is where the baths are, because on the male ward, this is where the baths were, and you also have bathtubs here. So I'm gonna guess that this is the female ward baths. And so yeah, another door here, and this is just a little hallway off of this other one. And there's just a restroom here, and that's pretty much it. And then over here, it's just a lot of. This is also unknown as to what this is supposed to be. So because on the male ward, this was the hallway with couple of offices, so a very wide hallway. But in the female ward, the very wide hallway is on this side, so don't really know what this is supposed to be. So again, you can just only speculate as to what this would be. So that's basically just a simple kind of walkthrough of the actual first floor. So gonna take a little bit of a closer look at some of the rooms, and then we'll go to the second floor. So again, this is the cafeteria, a very large room. So this is for the female patients. So the female patients would be staying on the second and third levels, and then when they go down to the first floor, they can go to the cafeteria, and of course, get something to eat pretty much. And they also have, locker rooms and stuff like that. So that's basically just kind of like basically a service rooms. So staying up here in the dorms, and they do have a restroom, and they also have this right here is for the female patients. So on the second level, this is where they'll be staying. They have restrooms, and they also have showers. And then if they want to get something to eat, you just go down to the cafeteria on the first floor, pretty much, because there's really nothing else that's down here for them to do. So unless they do some laundry or something like that. And then like the offices and the other rooms are meant more for staff. Like this locker room here, I'm guessing that this is for staff, just because the wall coverings are kind of similar to that of the administration block, so I'm not really sure. So it's hard to say, but I'm going to guess that this is maybe for staff, like the staff that are staying in here, keeping a closer eye on the female patients. So yeah, just another locker room here. It's just a locker room, that's pretty much it, and then you just got some sinks here. So yeah, again, more signs of damage there. And then, like I said, this was the sprinkler room. And there was this room. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is. Maybe another locker room? I'm really not sure. So yeah, more hallways. Going back to the actual cafeteria here, I'm kind of going all over the place, kind of willy-nilly, but just right here is the cafeteria. It's a very large room. It's hard to see, but there's 4 pillars in here, and it's got a tile floor and a typical kind of female ward wall coverings. So it's really not a whole lot to really say about it. It's very self-explanatory. And then back here at the back here, it's just a little service area. So it's got a pantry, and a little kind of area where the patients would walk up and receive their food here from kind of the serving area. And this area can only be accessed by this door here at the end of this hallway here. So yeah, another window here, and you have one of the offices. So yeah, this is for just staff, pretty much just another office to use. Very large office, so it's probably for a few people, maybe several people at most. And yeah, in the male ward, there are more of these like walls here that kind of section this area off into different little areas. So you have two sets of like double doors, and you have a hallway, kind of an L-shaped hallway that connects them, so you can just walk through that hallway without actually having to go through the office itself. Here in the female ward, it doesn't have that, so it's just a large room pretty much. And then yeah, like I said, there's the hallway here. It's got the staircase. Again, one of 4 staircases, and you have these windows here, large windows that look into the female ward from the hallways. So yeah, and then in the hallways, you're going to notice is that it uses a lot of wood. So in the hallways, a lot of wood, and then in some of the other rooms, like the dorms and the cafeteria, it's just tile. With the wall coverings are basically more or less the same. And then we have the laundry room here. So the laundry room is divided into a couple of rooms, just like the one in the male ward. So where the laundry room is on this side in the male ward. But it's actually kind of the same, very similar arrangement. So you have this area here, which has the actual washing machines in it. So just washing machines in this room. And in this area, it's got some laundry chutes. Here's the actual laundry chute here. And there's really not a whole lot going on in here, as you can see. But just kind of another room here. And then like a little storage area. So that's pretty much it. So there's a door on this side, on this hallway. And then there's also a door over here on this side. And then the 2 rooms are connected by a door as well. So pretty easy access. And just like the male ward, the actual laundry room here does have these little windows here. There's 5 of them in total. So again, a lot of tile here, just this basic white tile. So nothing really too elaborate. Again, very basic. And so yeah, laundry chute actually spans 3 levels, which is very interesting. Yeah, because the male ward doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have a laundry chute. So yeah, I got this hallway here again, just wood and the female ward wall covering that we've seen a lot. Alright, there's a restroom here. Not really a whole lot to say about this restroom. It's got 3 stalls in it, and it's got like pink tile. And that's pretty much all I'll really say about it. Just another restroom, so you don't have to go up to the 2nd floor. Another staircase. We got this room again, so it's got, again, tile. A lot of that same tile you see. And you got, so yeah, there's doors on 3 sides here. And you're going to notice that in the hallways there's a lot of these doors. On the male ward, there aren't nearly as many doors out here in these hallways, like in this section of the male ward. These doors don't exist, so the female ward is a little bit more closed off. It's not as open as the male ward. So yeah, this would be another office. This would probably look similar to this, I'm guessing, or the office as we see in the male ward, because you can actually access this office in the male ward. So probably looks something like that, except of course it's in female ward colors. And then at the end of this hallway is just another staircase here. The exterior wall here of the staircase is brick, and then it's kind of the same. And then the walls at the sides are similar to this. I think that's basically it for the 1st floor. Again, it's a lot of it is pretty self-explanatory. So that's the 1st level of the female ward. So it's basically meant, basically just for patients, and also a little bit of staff areas mixed in, but mostly for female patients. And so yeah, now we can head up to the 2nd level here. And so once you reach the 2nd floor and also the 3rd floor, you kind of have this kind of landing area. So it's got tile and the female ward wall covering coverings here, the main wall coverings. So yeah, and you also of course have a staircase and elevator that go up to the 3rd level. And at the forward end here, you do have these double doors, and it's unknown exactly what the rooms here are at the very front, so it's right above the main entrance, and it's at the very front here that sticks out, this area that juts out. It's probably an office, I'm gonna guess. I really don't think that this would be a dorm. Just seems like an odd spot for it, so I'm gonna guess it's an office of some kind. So yeah, and then at this point you can either go left or right, and it basically takes you to an identical version of each area. Like, the areas at the sides here, they're symmetrical, so the first floor isn't very symmetrical, but on the 2nd and 3rd level it's pretty much symmetrical. So you kind of have these wings at the sides here, and this is going to take you to the actual patient accommodation. So this is where the patients are going to be staying, in these very large dormitory style rooms. So once you go through this door here, if I can actually find it, you just have a hallway that goes down to the corner dorms. So there's like these corner dorms, and then there's the main ones. And the corner dorms are smaller than the main ones, so they're about like half the size of the main ones. And I'm guessing that they also only accommodate like half the number of patients as the main ones. So like this corner dorm, for example, is right above this area. So again, there's supposed to be like there would be a flooring here. So this is just its own little room here. So this, I think, is going to be a dorm here. And it's connected right to the hallway here that provides access to the administration block. So it's a little bit weird having to go through a dorm to go through to get to the female ward. It's very interesting. So again, it's got wood in here, though I think it would be tiled. The only reason there's wood in here is just so it looks a little bit easier to kind of, show the damage here. It's also the same for this dorm as well. This upper dorm has wood, and then everything else has tile. So I'm guessing it would also be tile. It would just be hard to show the damage like this. So wood just looks easier. I'm guessing that's the reason they did that. And then yeah, so like the corner dorms, they don't have anything off of them. The main ones do have a restroom off of them, attached to them, but the corner ones don't. So this is basically what you're getting. It's very basic. But for the 1960s, this would have sufficed for the most part. Nowadays that wouldn't fly at all. So yeah, you have a staircase here. And then yeah, you just got these hallways running down here, and off this hallway, there's 2 dorms on each side. So there's 2 main dorms on each side, making that a total of 4. And there's also total of 2 corner dorms. So there's 4 total dorms on each side, which means there's 8 dormitories on each level. And since there's 2 levels of dorms, that would make a total of 16 dormitories in total. So a lot of space. And so here's just an example of one of the larger kind of main dormitories. So again, very large space. It's got 6 pillars to support, the actual room itself here. So yeah, again, tile, the female ward wall coverings that we've seen a lot throughout. So again, it's very self-explanatory. And so you got 3 windows here. And this is where you look out of. And so yeah, again, yeah, like I said, you do have a restroom on each side. So there's a hallway, and then that leads to a restroom. And so not all of them are actually loaded in here. So I'm going to try to find one. And also between the 2 the main dormitories, there's actually a little bit of connection here. So there's just a small little room here. And so this can provide access to the different dormitories here. They're not connected to the corner ones, since of course this hallway leads to the restrooms. But there's a little bit of connection between the main ones. So they're kind of shared in a way, which is very interesting. And so, yeah, again, there's a lot of hallways here, just kind of branch out. And there's kind of a little area in the sides here. So there's like 3 doors on each side. So there's like these little areas here. Very hard to explain because you can't really see it that well. But they basically connect the 2 hallways that kind of make up the one hallway. And then there's this hallway that runs perpendicular to it. And this leads to some kind of office here. So another kind of little staff office. It's got these windows here. It's got these little kind of openings here. And this is also the room that holds the laundry chute for the second level. And yeah, so again, the typical female ward decor here. It's got basic fluorescent lights, ventilation units, and then on the other side, it's basically symmetrical. Again, you got the corner dorms, and here's a better example of one of the corner dorms. So you can see that they have fireplaces in them, and so there's 4 windows in total. And so, yeah, radiators and the fire, suppression systems. And this looks out towards the recreation area. So we're on the left-hand side. And also, one thing to take note of is that the ceilings in the corner dorms are a little bit lower than the ones in the main ones. So you can see that there's a little bit of a height difference there. So yeah, another kind of dormitory here. Again, it's very self-explanatory. All of these are identical. And this one, there's nothing in here, but this would be it would definitely look something like this here. This dorm that can't be accessed. And another corner dormitory here. So again, very self-explanatory. It's just a lot of the same stuff. And here's the fireplace, and it's in a different spot this time. But it does still have a fireplace. And a lot of the same stuff that you can find. So, and then you have this hallway that runs from one corner dorm to the other. So it's a very long hallway. And just connects these 2 dorms. So yeah, another corner dormitory here. Again, fireplace. And just a lot of the same stuff. It's just, I would be basically repeating myself if I were to just say the same stuff that has already been mentioned. So yeah, and then you got the main dormitories here that are connected with the higher ceiling. And also here, there's a door that leads to this kind of shower locker room. So in this portion here, you have lockers and sinks, and then there's a little bit of a wall here, and right here are shower stalls. So this is where the female patients would shower. So I got a tile in here, pink tile on the walls. So it's a little bit different decor, but still kind of pink for female patients. And then that's pretty much it. So just showers, and that's basically all there is to it. And in the male ward, this is where a janitor's closet and an office would be. Here in the female ward, there isn't. The office is on this side, and there is no janitor's closet. So again, kind of that's one of the bigger differences between the second levels of the second and third levels of the male and female wards. But other than that, you're going to see that once we head over to the male ward, it's going to look a lot like this. I think that's pretty much it for the second level. And then now we have the third level, so this is the very highest point of the staircase and elevator. The elevator shaft does still go up, but there's really there's no way to get off at these levels, so it doesn't really go anywhere. So again, it's the third level. It's going to be a lot like what we saw with the second level. So again, you got this landing area. The only difference is that the ceiling is a little bit less taller than the one on the second floor. And you also probably have like an office here. You got this room. And then going left or right, you have more dormitories, and that's pretty much it. So again, yeah, there would be a flooring here back in, when the Asylum was a little bit more newer. This would have just been its own room here. And again, these dorms here are connected, so you have a little bit of, you have two connections here, some other kind of little hallway here. I don't really know what to call this. It's not really quite a hallway, it's just a room that just connects the two dorms. Yeah, here you can see that the wall thickness here, so you can actually have like wires and pipes run through some of the walls here. So yeah, more restrooms. So yeah, all of the main dormitories have restrooms, and the restrooms have 3 stalls in them, so they're some of the bigger restrooms that we've seen. So yeah, and then this is all just basically more or less identical. Really, one of the bigger differences is that this area right here, yeah, this would be another office. It's not as big as the one on the second floor. It's only like half the size of the one on the second floor, but it does still have the actual laundry chute. So this is where your laundry chute goes up to. So it goes all the way down to the first floor. And yeah, so yeah, another little window here and kind of this opening here, little grate there. So yeah, 2 desks, a little pipe there in the corner. And yeah, so you can see that you can't access all of the dorms, but yeah, this right here, this would basically look much like this, basically identical, because the these corner dorms right here on the second level, they're the same height as the standard height of the ceilings on the third level. So yeah, more dormitories. Yeah, the main dormitories that I'm calling them. Again, it's the same thing. 6 pillars, tiled floor, the typical female ward wall coverings, fire suppression system, radiators, wall outlets. So, and then yeah, heading on over to this dormitory, it's a lot of just the same stuff. So I don't think I really need to talk too much about this. So this is on the recreation side area. Here's another corner dormitory. So again, this would just look a lot like that one on the level below. And then what's interesting is here, this hallway, basically the same as the one on the second floor, but besides the difference in height, the areas at the sides are closed off, as you can see. So there's this, if I can find it again, there's doors here. There's double doors at the ends here, so right past the point where the entrance to the staircase is. So it's very interesting. Even the male ward doesn't have this, so I'm wondering why they did that. It's kind of pointless, really. Just makes this area a little bit more closed off than it really has to be. So yeah, and then again, this hallway has the 2 staircases, 2 smaller staircases. And then this would be, again, another corner dormitory. And then this leads right back to the main one. So we kind of did a 360 there. And then of course you also do have the this right here, while you can't access this would be another one of the lockers / shower rooms for the female patients. So, you know, each level gets a shower locker room. So if you're staying on the 3rd floor, you're going to use this shower room. If you're on the 2nd level, this is the shower room that you're going to be using. And right above us, this would be the attic space. So there's really not a whole lot that would be up here. It would probably look similar to the attic in the vocational block that we see, and we're going to see later on. So again, pretty self-explanatory, and here you get a better idea of the actual layout of one of the floors for the female patients. So it's got a little flyby here, and we're pretty much done for the upper portions of the female ward. There's really not a whole lot else that I really want to bring up at this point. And then, yeah, there you can see the recreation area. So just to give you an idea of where we are. And so you have the staircase here, and I don't really have a whole lot to say about the staircases. The only thing I'll bring up is that since the floor, the level heights are different, the staircases get a little bit smaller the higher you go up. So there's less steps the higher you go up. The area is a little bit different. You're going to see that a little bit better in the male ward, because in the female ward it's a little bit too dark. So yeah, that only leaves us the basement left. And so the basement on the female ward is very small. There's not really a whole lot to it. On the male ward, you'll see the basement is a lot larger. It basically spans, it's basically right below the entire 1st level, so it's very big. It's basically like the same size as the 1st floor, basically, but on the female ward, it's only a few rooms, and that's it. So it's even smaller than the basement in the administration block. And see, again, you have this room that houses the actual staircase and elevator shaft. So again, it's just, at this point, it's going to be very basic, even more basic than what we've seen before. So it's just brick wall covering, and then like concrete floor, and that's it. And so yeah, once you go here, you have a little kind of hallway area, and you can basically you can only go right here, and you have just this large room here. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. There is a couple of bed frames in this room, and there's also a desk. So maybe this is like a basement ward, because one of the documents in the male ward states that there is a basement ward in the male ward. So maybe the female ward also has something like this. So which is very interesting, having a basement ward. Or maybe this is the infirmary, kind of the infirmary for the female ward. So your guess is as good as mine, but again, this room is very basic. It's actually kind of the same decor as the administration block. So yeah, brick wall covering, concrete floor, and then kind of these kind of wood planking for the ceiling. So yeah, basically just a large room here, and it's kind of this arch here that's been closed all over. But what's very interesting is that if you go over here, there's a hallway here. So maybe there's more to the female ward than we know of. Maybe this connects to the sewer, because there really isn't a connection to the female ward basement to the sewer. But the male ward actually does have a connection to the sewer through its basement. So maybe the female ward also has something like this, but we just never get to see it in game. So it's an interesting thing to think about. But that's basically going to wrap up the female ward. And so yeah, the next thing we're going to take a look at is the male ward. And so I hope to see you there.